What's good, guys? It's Ilsun4K, and today, as you can tell by the video title, we're doing a really long form content video on modifying a PlayStation 5 controller with a whole bunch of things. But what we're going to talk about is what got me to this point of thinking I needed to do this to my controller, besides the fact that I can never just leave anything alone and I have to touch everything until it's broken. You guys ever played this game? Now, if you have, you know this is Ghost of Tshuima or Tsushima. I can't remember the pronunciation. But you also know, if you've played this, that by the purple screen, that means I haven't finished my boss fight with the eagle. Now, for those of you unaware, the eagle is a fucking problem because the eagle comes in and starts like overruling this island, and she gives your character this like hallucinogenic substance that gives him the ability to start having like visions where she like terrorizes him, and it's just really annoying. And the thing that kills me is, besides her in the boss fight, is I stand no chance. So I modified my controller from having the long throw triggers and things like that to not only that, but it has some RGB. So in this video, we're going to cover how I did all of this, how easy it really is to do, and why you should do it, because honestly, for the 80 bucks, this controller is really awesome. And now that Sony put the DualSense features on a PC, yes, this has DualSense features now, if you use it hardwired, which is why mine's hardwired into my PC. It's totally worth it if you have the patience for it. So definitely check out the video, check it out before you buy the kit. If you've already bought the kit, well, too late to turn back now. Don't return it. It's really easy. You get everything you need in the kit, whichever kit you bought, and just stick around and check it out. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we got the three things going on right here. First off, of course, we have the ExtremeRate. This is the triggers for the LR2, L1, R1, whatever. This is the thing that makes it more of like a click versus a mushy feeling. This, of course, right here is the multicolor illuminated affair. This is what's going to give me RGB in my controller. I can't wait for that. And lastly, we have, of course, the Extremeface clicky face buttons. These are for the triangle, square, or circle. This should be interesting to see how it coexists with this. I'm really excited to open all this up, so let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start first and foremost by saying I recommend wearing gloves when you do this, or working with electronics. Your fingers have oils on them, dirt. It can make things really disturbingly dirty in there, and you don't want that. Highly doubt there'll be any problems, but if you have access to gloves, wear them. As you can see, I have a little tear in mine. Anyway, so the first thing you're going to notice is in all the kits, you get this. A prior and a screwdriver. And believe it or not, despite the fact that I have a wide array of PC tools that I would like to use in this video, I'm actually just going to use what comes in this. And you'll find out that this actually works out pretty well, even when it comes to removing connectors. So first things first, you want to come along in this area right here. You see this, right? You can kind of see, because I tried it to make sure it works like it's supposed to. You take this pry bar like this, and you go and you stick it in here, and you start getting that pop. You can go up like that. If you keep sliding it on up, I'm trying to keep it so that way you guys can see it. You can see how you can like dig in there and pop it open. You do the same thing on the other side as well. There you go. Now what you want to do is you want to bring it on up over here. Pop it like so. I'm trying to get everything to work like it's supposed to. There we go. We got one to pop out. Now be careful when you pull this. It kind of clips underneath here a little bit. As you can see, it's got a little bit of overlap. And there you go. It pops right out. No broken clips. Everything's nice. Very nice. Pull everything out. Now from here, there's actually clips along the side, but first we got to get rid of some screws. So we got to get the screws that are down here. There's a screw here and a screw here. There's also screws up here. Again, take your pry bar very lightly, just right in the middle, like go underneath, and they pop right out. Make sure you have them aimed downward. And now what you want to do is you want to take these and not lose them. Sorry, I'm not wearing a shirt. It's hot when I do these goddamn videos in the garage. So we have these two screws and these two screws. Let's start by removing the bottom screws. Okay, let me get these out real quick. Now, most of the screws in this are actually, the disassembly part are actually the same screw, but I still put them off to the side. Nice clean area to work with. A towel is better than nothing. I'll try to work on getting something better. Okay, so we're going to take that screw out too. Again, try not to let them drop in the controller because that's a pain in the ass. Two screws here. How do we look on camera? Okay. And two screws here. Alright, cool. So no screws fell in there. That's great. Now from here, it's back to our pry bar. What we want to do is we want to take the pry bar, and we want to be careful not to do what I did, because I fucked up. There's tabs here. There's a tab here and a tab here. As you can see, I snapped the tab on this side. So just be careful when you open this that you don't make the same mistake I did. It's not a functionality thing. It's like a perfectionism thing. So anyway, what you want to do is you want to come along the side of this thing right here, stick the popper in. Just go up along the sides like that. Okay, so you got that one side popped. Now you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Pop, pop, pop. Okay. Okay. There we go. See how I had that clip that I broke? I pulled it off. Now we're inside the controller. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have made it inside the controller. Make sure you clean this up later. Your hands are dirtier than you think unless you wash your hands before you play every video game, which if you do, I applaud you. I lack such discipline. But nonetheless, doesn't hurt to clean this up. Never use solvents. Wet rag. Solvents cause problems and eventually start fading away. I don't even recommend using it once, to be quite honest with you. So anyway, there's more screws in here, and this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So first we need to remove this battery right here. This battery needs to come out. Now, we could get tweezers, but again, I'm trying to do it with everything that comes in the kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. You see how there's just a connector right there? That, you want to kind of take it, and you want to like pop it out like so, like hit it from each side with the screwdriver. I would seriously recommend, oh, you can just kind of wiggle it out like that, back and forth. I would recommend being really careful with this. If you got tweezers, again, I would try to pull it from the side. Okay, so we're back to the screws thing. There's two screws here and a screw here. So let's get these screws out right now. We have this one coming out right now. And then we have this other one over here coming out right now. Okay. Take the two screws, put them over with the other screws. They're all the same. Middle screw right here. This is the battery case. And now comes a part again that if you got tweezers, I would seriously recommend them. Take the battery tray out. I think I just cost myself. Oh, it's a piece of rubber. So there's a piece of rubber that goes over this thing. All right, we're gonna start pulling out before I forget. This little piece of rubber came out. I thought it was a microchip, but I'm lucky it's not. It's a little piece of rubber that goes around this part right here. And I gotta suggest this right now. If you look, there's these tabs attached to all these micro clips. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take these tabs and pull them out. Oh, wow. We pull the tab out like this. Now we've disconnected it. And in doing that, I pulled up this thing, which I did not want to do yet, because that could really cause a problem. Wow, that was a little dangerous. I can't believe that happened. There's a tab here as well. You have to pull that out. You have to pull out this tab as well. Let me get this one. Alright, so this tab is now pulled out. This tab is now pulled out. This one up top needs to be pulled out. This one down here needs to be pulled out. And these are really, really tiny, like really tiny. Like these two are super tiny. You just pull them out like that. And you put them off to the side with everything else that matters. Put that there. Now we have that. We got to pull out this tab right here, which is no easy feat. We got that out. And then there's a tab up here as well that we need to pull out. All right, so now all the tabs are pulled from the circuit board. Then we can pop this out. We got to pop it out really gentle because there are wires that are connected, as you can see, to your motion controllers. I mean, your rumble packs. And those are really fragile. The trick is to try and lift the board a little bit so that way it's even. Again, I'm trying to wiggle it out. I'm having a little bit of trouble here. I think it popped out incorrectly. All right, hang on. Okay, don't go slamming it like I did right there. There is no screws holding this in. I know they're all out because I've done this before. Okay, there we go. So you just got to make sure you push both buttons out at the same time like this, very gently. Okay, see? Now look at that. That's awesome. We can take this little piece, leave that in there. Okay, so please be careful with this. We have to take out these two screws now. There are two screws here. You have to take out. I've never done this before, so I'm really sorry. Okay, so those are the two screws right there. Okay, so now these are two different screws. Now you gotta again be careful not to do what I just did because I forgot it was connected like it was. These are two silver screws that go over here. From here we can take this out now. Okay, cool. Now we have this. Please be careful with this because this is really a fragile affair. This is the new board that I'm going to have to replace. So we'll take that. It appears that I can just wiggle this out from what I saw. We're going to get rid of this as well, though. This is coming. This is going. All these buttons are coming with me. As you can see, I am just slowly but steadily. Now you can take this and like dump it like that. Your buttons go where you want to put them because I'm replacing the buttons. If you're not replacing the buttons, you don't need that. And for the most part, it appears that we are disassembled. So this is the full-on controller disassembly right here. And we have all these buttons taken out. And now from here, I'm going to figure out which mod we should do first. I guess I should have figured that out beforehand. But it's okay. So we'll take this out. So this is, wow, this is pretty cool. All right, so now I'm going to figure out which mods to do. And that's how you disassemble the controller without breaking anything for the most part. Unless you saw that clip I broke. And other than that, guys, let's get started on the mods. Okay, so first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to move that mouse out of the way. We're going to do the triggers first because those are actually seemingly the most daunting. So what you want to do first is there's actually two screws right here, as you can see, hopefully. Take screw number 1 out. Wow, that's really in there. Wow, that was really in there. Holy crap, I got scared for a second. I was like, so yeah, these are where screws start looking like they might be different. Nope, the same as the other black screws in there. So you want to disassemble the triggers, and you're going to take them apart, and I'll show you how to do one of them. And you can just use your imagination to do it on the other ones, so that way you don't have to make this video longer than it needs to be. Alright, so that screw is out. Now what we want to do is, again, we want to take this board like this really carefully, put it over there. Now here's where things get a little fucky. There's screws that need to come out on this right here. 1, 2, 3. And I believe there's a screw on this side as well. But in addition to that, there's a little clip that you got to pull out right here. Like right there, you got to pull out this conductive clip. There's like a conductive blue thing. This is if you have my model controller, the BDM-010. the first controller that they had. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to disconnect that now. I have an idea to make things easier, because you have to actually take that out, and we'll be replacing that conductive piece with parts in the kit over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start taking apart these 3 screws right here. Okay, that's 1 screw out. 2 screws is right here. Again, be careful of this tape that you see that you have right here, this reflective item. Definitely want to be careful of that. All right, so we're taking the trigger apart now. That's coming out. This is right here. So we have this final piece right here that's coming out with this screw. Take that out. These all appear to be pretty much almost the same exact screw. We'll take a look at that in the reinstall. There's no screws hidden anywhere, right? Nope, none. So now we should be able to just pop this bad boy off. Oh wait, no, I see something. Haha, I was wrong. Okay, see behind this blue thing that I told you had to pull off, there was another screw. I knew there was a screw on this side. I was like, I feel like I was supposed to pull something off. Sorry about that, guys and gals. All right, so now we have that pretty much done. We can pop off this side right here, and what we want to do is we want to pop this off, take that plate, put it over here. I believe we're replacing that part. Take this, put it over here as well. And then lastly, you want to get out this metal rod piece right here, and this is where having a tweezer would definitely help out. I think I have a pair of pliers somewhere, but okay, so I got it. This metal rod needs to come out, and then once this rod comes out, put that over there. Rod. You take this controller right here, this controller piece. Oh boy, I lost the gear. Put that gear back in there. Yeah, you want to make sure you don't lose the gear. If you do, just put it back in. Everything is fine. Now, what you need to do from here is you need to go up top. You need to take your little screwdriver right here, and you need to pop off this conductive piece of that. And you're going to take this out as well. This is a conductive. This is getting replaced. This right here is basically when you hit your trigger fingers. Now, this is it completely disassembled. And now that you see how it disassemble it, you can do it on the other side as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out the other one, and then I'm going to start modifying these and showing you what we're going to replace and how it all works. Jesus fucking Christ. What? Okay, so here's what comes with the trigger kit, whatever you want to call it, the R1, R2 kit, and what you'll need. Now, as you can see in this, you get these little plastic pieces. You don't actually need all the pieces. The only pieces you need are these pieces right here along the bottom. These 4 pieces you do not, and you actually only need you only need 2 of each. This is for your L1 R1, this is for your R2 L2, and I'll tell you more about that in just a second. The, of course, star of this is actually the official click trigger. This is what replaces that item that we took out before that has the ribbon cable. It's got this awesome click noise to it. Hear it on the mic. Now, what's cool about this is the fact that you got to modify these controllers using these little buttons right here. And there would be 2 of these. And as you can see, I've already used some pieces from here. The reason why I did that, of course, is I wanted to make sure that before I did this, I knew how to do it. And this is actually a completed unit with the full swap done, all put back together. As you can hear, it has clickings. The L2 seems a little lighter sounding than the L1, but it's still really satisfying, and hopefully I did it right, and we'll find out. But I'm going to show you how we put it all together now. So what you want to do is, we'll put all of this off to the side. You're going to take your disassembled unit right here, right? This is where things get fun. You're going to take your new item, the new click buttons, the new whatever. You're going to put these down in here like this, all right? They're going to go down in here like this. You're going to lightly push that down with the screwdriver, just so that way it clicks into place. Try not to tear anything if you could. Okay, and you're going to keep that down. Go ahead. It's down in there. Don't put this ribbon cable back in here yet. It's not time to do that. You have a screw that has to go in there. And there's actually a little bit of an orientation thing that's kind of scary if you don't pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, that I'm going to show you how to do. But first and foremost, we're going to take this piece right here. This is your back button, your R2, L2. You're going to take one of these components right here. You're going to twist it off like that. You're going to put it back in here. If you look in this controller right here, literally, let me see if I can get that right in there. Right in there, there is a slot for these two items. You're going to take it so that way this is face forward. This tab is going to be face forward, and you're going to slide it on in here. Okay, hang on. And as you'll see on the screen, we'll have a little bit of an orientation that shows you how to put it in, because my fingers are too big. So you'll see that nice little graphic. That's actually from the ExtremeRate website, which is awesome. Shout out to them for that. I believe I have this in going the wrong way because I can't see because my fingers are just so big. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like 6'2". My fingers are like not meant for this. All right, cool. So we put it in there. We push it all the way down like that. Then what we do is we take another one of these. We take this one right here, this piece. We take it off, and then what we do is we locate our L1, R1, and if we look right inside the controller here, we can see there's a little tiny hole. You can see in that right there. You want to take this little tiny peg that you have. God, my fingers make this look so bad. Take this little tiny peg that you have right here and put it into this. And you want to push it all the way down. If it looks like that, it's not all the way down. You have to push it with the screwdriver or something all the way in. You can use your teeth if you want to bite it, but I wouldn't do that. That works for me. Again, now it's all the way in. You basically want it flush. Now this is set up for this whole affair. What you're going to do is you're going to put this back together the same way you took it apart. You're going to take this item and you're going to make sure that you have the loop go in there. You should hear the click now when you push the button. There should be a click. There we go. Now it's in place. Next up, we want to take this pin that we took out. You guys remember this pin? You're going to put it back into this hole right here. You're going to push it in with this. Try to line it up, make it nice and flush. You're still going to hear the click. I like to keep clicking it while I'm doing it the whole time, so that way I know that I don't have any problems with it. Now here comes the part with the gear where I really want to be specific, and I'll put up the orientation from the ExtremeRate video so that way you can see, but I'm going to try to show it to you here as well. You want to make the gear so you like this. There's a really specific way this is oriented, and you'll see in the video I'm about to show you how you want it to be. So in the video you have it held like this. Make sure you have the fourth gear put on the first notch of the cover like that, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Really simple. So what I did was I oriented it so that way it looks like it's supposed to in the video. I made sure that the number 1 notch was lined up exactly how it looks in the top part of this section right here, and I'm also doing it on my video right here down here. I lined it up so that way I have this whole section, and I'll try to highlight it in this picture of what I did. Then from there you want to take this cover piece. This is your cover piece right here. This is the piece that's going to go over that. And you'll notice it's got grooves on the back. You want that first groove right there in the 4th notch of this. So you want to see, as you see in the picture, 1, 2, 3. And on the 4th notch, you don't even have to really take it out. It's kind of convenient. You can actually count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can look and count on the picture. 1, 2, 3. Yep. You can actually just line it up like this and drop it on in. You don't even have to really move it that much. You can just kind of mess it on in like that. And you just want to make sure your orientation is still good with the notches being where they're supposed to be. So again, you want to really line that up as best you can. There we go. Now that should be enough right there for everything to be happy. That looks to me like it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3. If you see, we have the 4th notch as the first part of this. The 4th notch is hidden behind this. We still have the click. All right, cool. And again, we're making sure everything lines up. We're maneuvering it so that way it works like it's supposed to. We actually want to take the cover now from the old piece. This is nothing new. Take this, throw it on there like that. We still want to make sure this clicks. Clicks just like the other one that I have. Now, what you want to do is, of course, you want to take your screws and you want to put them back in the holes that they had over here. And again, you want to keep on making sure everything was clicking, because when I did it on the other one, I had a little bit of trouble trying to make it click. This one seems to not be problematic. So I'm going to go ahead and assume it was me on some install error affair. Because we're going to, now that we're tightening this all the way down, I can see it going all the way down. Let's make sure. Yep, we still have the click. Just like that. They feel the same. Let me make sure. Okay, my cat just jumped up here. Thanks for joining me. Don't you yell at me. By the way, you notice I stopped using gloves because mine tore and I couldn't find them. I should still recommend the idea of using gloves. You don't actually have to put this piece back on yet, because you're going to have to leave this off for another part of the reassembly of the controller. What you want to do now is, now that you have that, you want to put screws over here. Also, I still have 2 more to put on here. Sorry, my cat distracted me. You want to make sure you put this in here like this. Put all your screws back together. Nice, nice. And that one's a little bit of a struggle. Gotta be careful. Okay. I'm just making sure everything looks the same. Yep. Everything looks exactly the same as it should. It all feels the same. Now, there's some talk about cutting these wires under here, these red and blue wires, or sorry, red and black wires. I don't know anything about that. It says it's optional. That's not a thing I'm really going to tell you that you have to do. You could look more into it if you want to. I'm just not really trying to do that right now. Okay, so this is the clicker. The clicker has now been reassembled. Last but not least, we have to reconnect the old ribbon cable. See the ribbon cable? We have to reconnect that back in there. Once we get it lined up, we can just kind of push it in from the top with our screwdriver like so. There we go. It's pushed in. Now that's it perfectly assembled. This is basically the finished part. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on more to the clicky faceplate things. And again, thanks so much for joining me on that one. If you're just sticking around for this video, make sure you like and subscribe. But if not, we're going to continue onward with the next part of this video. Really? In the middle of the micro flippers. You know how hard this is for me to do, right? Like, oh my God, when I'm done with this, I'm going to fucking kill you. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're going to get rid of the old style button pressers, and we're going to put in the new clicky faceplate one. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to make it so that way my buttons click on the faceplate like they do across the board. And here's what you get in the kit. You get this item right here, and you get what else did I get in this thing? You get the new rubber pads to go underneath that are more responsive and built for this style of clicker. As you can see, it's 2 entirely different things. Hang on, wait 1 second. Let me pull up something here. I'm going to try and clear out my workspace a little bit. So as you can see, this is actually pretty straightforward. This piece comes out just like that. It's actually a very fragile piece, and I would be very careful with it. And this part in the back as well. And by the way, if you drop this little metal piece out of the controller, don't worry about it. Just put it off to the side. I'll show you where it goes when we're done with this. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that we take this out correctly and we don't damage anything. There's this little piece back here that has the 2 flaps that you want to take out. Make sure you get that. You really don't want to tear those cables, and it really bothers me that there's no way for me to like anchor this thing in. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Just got to be careful with it. Let me see something here. We got this whole affair coming out right now. Hang on. See, this whole thing just kind of comes out naturally. Once you get that piece off, you just gotta like slowly pull it off. Like that. That's the old one, right? There's your old piece. Now the ExtremeRate thing, I mean, these aren't even comparable. This is literally a flimsy clear piece of plastic, and this is this nice thing with micro switches, and it's just really nice looking. I'm a huge fan of it, that's for sure. It definitely makes you feel like I got my money's worth. We're gonna slide that back all in like we just had it before. We're gonna make sure everything connects back up real nice. We're gonna slowly push everything in so that way it pops back in like that. It's very, very nicely built. I'm actually a huge fan of this build quality. Now what we got to do is we got to flip it over once we get done pushing everything down, making sure everything's nice, make sure we don't tear any wires. Okay, now we got everything all clipped in. This looks like it could be clipped a little better. You got to like just like push it over it lightly and they just snap into place. It's very, very cool. Now we got this back piece here, which unfortunately I do need to take this out of the way. And we got to fold this back piece back over, like the piece that we took off right here. We got to pull this back like that, and boom, it's done like that. Now we have to do the fun part of putting the RGB components in, but that works out like this. We have to take the buttons that come with the RGB kit, which I'm going to show you guys right now. Hang on. This is the RGB kit. All of your buttons are replaced with these translucent buttons, including these Joy-Cons, which are really easy to remove. I can't believe I called it a Joy-Con. But you get all of this stuff right here. It's very nice. The only thing that's kind of sad is I guess it's a copyright thing. They can't actually use like a PlayStation style logo on any of this, so you have to kind of just deal with the fact that it's not going to have the logo on there. But it's okay. They all pop into place real nice, it seems. And the thing is, you don't want to like spread these out because they're translucent, so you won't see them if you lose them. And they all actually... This fucking cat. Wow, what a menace. Yeah, that's my new cat. He's a sweetheart, but he's also absolutely insane. That was Simba. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to go like that. So we're putting the new buttons in, and it's actually going on pretty well. No problem so far. You got to make sure you order the right kit for this, by the way. I'll show you how to figure out if you have the right kit or not. It's a little bit of a challenge, but not too much. Hang on, wait 1 second. Come on, you bastard. Did I put this together wrong? Yeah, see there's... Ah, you bastard. I did it wrong. Oops. Alright, so we got to redo that. Make sure we put it all back together correctly. See, there's different ways that the buttons go in, and they have their own schematics. So this one goes in like that. Okay, so that one... It's funny to see them have their own little, like, puzzle pieces. Is this for this one? Nope. This one is for this one, maybe? Let's see. Okay, we got that in there. No. I'm a little worried because I think they all went in except for one, and that's not a very good sign. Oh, wait, no, I'm just an idiot. Ha! Alright, those are all in there. Now we can take the D-pad and put that in here. Now we have translucent buttons, and I can't show you because if I try to flip it over, it's just going to fall out. So we have the translucent buttons in. Then we have these buttons that need to go up top, such as, I believe, this button right here. We have a PS button as well, which is really my favorite part about this whole kit. It comes with a translucent PS button. I was like, alright, tell me more. Again, these all go in a certain way, it seems. They seem to be doing just fine. Okay, that's cool. And now we have the PS button last. Well, actually, we have one more thing after that, but we'll do it last because this is the first PS button that goes in here. All right, so that's in there. Now I got to start figuring out what goes where with this. I think this goes like that, right? Yep. Okay. And now does this have a D-pad thing in it too, right? It should. All right. Let's see what we got here. Here's the D-pad one, I think. Is this the D-pad? I sure hope it's for the same thing. Yeah, it is. Okay, it is. It's the same thing. All right. It just needs some adjusting. So maybe I should put it in before I put it together. Just make sure it really does go snapping in. It does appear to snap in, right? Yeah. Okay. So it should be. It's from the same kit, the same company. It's not like I'm mixing two kits. All right. So it does go in. All right. I hope I don't need to do this again because it's a royal pain in the ass to line this up. Okay, so you gotta like push it in. Okay. Interesting. It's got to be like pushed into like the grooves and indentations inside of this whole damn thing. Okay, there we go. We got that pushed in. Okay, so we have this now installed. Now let's take a look at the next thing we got to do. This is that, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure everything else works like it's supposed to. I'm pretty sure this goes over this, and yeah, that feels nice. Okay, that's going to be really nice when it works out. Next up, we have to take these off. You just hold that down, and we're going to put the translucent ones on. This is that way our RGB looks nice. And speaking of RGB, we'll be doing that next, I believe. Okay. Okay, come on. There we go. We get that in there. Okay. That's awesome. Now, I believe the next thing I have to do, if I'm not correct, is the RGB kit. So let me take a quick look at that. And that is how we install the clicker buttons. Now, make sure you stick around for controller assembly if you're just watching this right now. For any other reason, I'm just making sure that I'm stopping this at the right point. Yep, all right, we're good to stop. Okay, so next we're gonna cover what comes in the RGB kit, which is pretty cool. Again, you saw me install those buttons before. This is actually what makes the thing light up. And there's actually a second part to it that lights up the controller part right here. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. We're gonna take a look at everything. I can't believe I just did that and lost some buttons. Oh shit. Whoops. Well, anyway, I found them. So what we need to do now is we need to install this. This is actually pretty straightforward. First, you're gonna take this component right here, which installs just like the ExtremeRate other piece, but this installs around it, if that makes sense. So you have this, slide its piece in there like you did before, and you're going to push everything down that needs to be pushed down again like you did last time. This fucking cat is the... You get fucking wild with me. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I know we all love a good cat. Who doesn't lie? So how it works is you have to push all of this down like you did with the ExtremeRate thing above it. But the cool news is that it goes over all the stuff that you just had, which is really, really awesome. So that means all your triggers are going to be fine and everything's going to be all hooked up correctly. Again, just loop everything over that. So that way it sticks down real nice. You can see where the RGBs are going to be if you're into that. What you want to do is you want to flip this over now, and you want to bend this piece back again like you did with the other one. You want this to be nice and flush because this lines up with this piece in here. Now here comes the fun part. You guys remember that little piece I told you about that we might have had fall out of your controller? This goes right in here. But rather than make life difficult on yourself, just put it into this little slot here and flip this forward. And now we're actually at a point where we can start putting the thing back together. Almost. What we're looking for now is the ability to figure out which one we need. So next up, we're going to pull out this little mini RGB piece right here. This is a pretty handy dandy one. You want to see how it says BDM-010 and BDM-010. BDM-0101, sorry. You're going to cut off whichever one is not for your controller. This is a BDM-101. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to cut it. So that way I don't have to worry about the BDM-02 because that's how you get a short if you leave this on there apparently. And I'm also going to do the same thing over here. These are really small print, so make sure you read them correctly. I'm not even sure if you can see it on the camera. It is BDM-02 that I want to get rid of, so I'm going to get rid of this top one. And these work out pretty straightforward. How it works is we're now going to take this like this, and we are going to now we have this plugged in, which is going to go with our battery controller item later that we're going to talk about when we put the battery in. This plugs into here. Very straightforward affair. Only goes in one way. Now we have that plugged in. That's plugged into there. This is going to be where our battery goes. We're not doing that right now. We have some other stuff to handle. This goes around the side like that. Gets tucked. Tucked. This now apparently goes in here. This ribbon cable right here goes in here. Like so. That gets tucked in there. And then this part comes around the side over here. It goes into this little ribbon cable. Remember, this is part of the new RGB item that you're installing. So yeah, you put that in there like that. Push that down. Now that gets tucked away apparently. You want to wrap up all this excess, so it seems. And from there, I believe that just goes like that. Okay, we're at a point where we can start reassembling things. Make sure you put all of your buttons in here like I showed you before. Have them aligned real nice. What you want to do then is you want to come back with this circuit board right here. You don't want any of these ribbon cables connected, but you do want to pay attention to these two ribbon cables here. You got a ribbon cable here and a ribbon cable here. Make sure you lead this ribbon cable through this little catch slot like that. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then at the bottom you have another ribbon cable that you really want to make sure you don't get trimmed up. Oop. Parts are flying everywhere over here. We want to pull this back like this. Make sure this ribbon cable goes in. Now we're going to push this in very nicely. Oop, oop. See, we have this cable catching already. Okay, so now we have this cable here. And everything's all lined up. We can start reattaching ribbon cables. Now there's something interesting I'm going to tell you about one of these ribbon cables, and I don't know why, but I guess that's just how it works. First things first, reattach this one right here. So that way you have that one. Apparently you only need one ribbon cable, and that's what's interesting to me for this whole trigger thing. But in the meantime, make sure you connect this ribbon cable as well. Yeah, this is such a pain in the ass when you have big fingers. Okay, now we see it's all pushed in. It's all good. The line went down. Make sure you catch this ribbon cable here. And there's one more hidden ribbon cable that you got to watch out for. Make sure that's sitting in the right spot on the other side. This, again, is such a royal pain in the ass with these huge fingers. Okay. Okay, now I got this pushed down more. Maybe this cable will actually work like it's supposed to. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Struggle over. What we want to do is we want to make sure the parts that we knocked off on the back side are okay over here. See this right here? This popped out. We just want to put it back in its nice little home. There's a little spot for it to sit. As you can see, that ribbon cable sits nicely in there. We want to make sure we get that up over the part that clicks. See that? There's a part that clicks. Otherwise, you might damage this ribbon cable. This, again, is something you want to take your time with. Now, as some of you might remember, there was a ribbon cable over here, but that ribbon cable got replaced by the RGB cable that went with this piece over here. It was a little strange. I'm not sure why, but it has an RGB cable and it actually connects the ribbon cable back over here. So it acts as like a jumper of sorts, which is pretty crazy. So make sure you remember that when you do it. All right. Oh. Again, ribbon cable on this side, killing me because I have these big ass fingers. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. We got it in place. Now, it also came with this little piece of tape right here. This little piece of tape is going to take this whole thing. Oh, what the hell? They're littler pieces of tape. Okay. We want to cover this up because this is actually capable of causing a short. So the instruction manual says. So we're going to cover that up with this. My camera up top failed, so sadly this is not the video I want it to be. Now we have nothing to worry about. We can start continuing to reassemble affairs. Next up, we're going to take the battery tray. Battery tray goes in like this. As you can see. Now we take our screw, a black screw, and we put it right in here. This is the part that holds the battery tray in there. And this works out great because now we don't have to worry about the battery coming loose. Unfortunately, the BDM-010 thing fell out, but that's okay. Make sure all of our buttons are right. Okay, now we have another ribbon cable that we need to remember that was right here. It looks like the one on the other side, actually. It looks like the one right here. This is the ribbon cable that we're going to use. We are going to take that and it goes right in this little slot right here. Get that down in there. And then you take it and you got to just kind of take your screwdriver. You want to catch this just like you did on the front side in this little lip area here. See if I can actually see it. Okay. And that's just fine like that. Now we can take our battery. Put the battery back in. Ooh, the controller's lighting up. Check that out. Ooh. Okay, cool. I wasn't ready for that. That was cool. Now we can start reassembling everything. Now we have everything all put together. We can start reassembling. This is a new wire piece that we're going to have to kind of tuck away inside of here, I'd imagine. That looks like the best spot for it to go. Now you're going to take your black screws and we're going to start reassembling things. As you can see, we're going to take a black screw and we're going to put it... Oh, no. Okay, ooh, that was close. Shit. Had a screw get lost. Make sure you don't do that like I did. We're going to put our screws back in. There aren't too many that are exposed right here. So we're going to take this. We're going to put it on in there. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to tighten that on down. And remember, you're going to have a lot of extra screws if you actually took screws out of the kit. So try not to take any screws out of the kit because it's just extra screws for you to worry about. And then you're going to put that screw in over here as well. So we have our two screws, one there and one there. Now there's a piece of double-sided tape on this. I don't know how much I want to commit to where it is right now. I want to see if I have any problems with it first. I think everything will be fine if I just go like this and tuck it away. Next thing I want to do, of course, is the moment of truth, is put this back on. Before I do that, though, like I said, I want to come over here and I want to make sure this piece is tucked over this. So that way this piece has the correct part. So when I put this on, I'm not cutting that cable. We can now take this, turn it upside down, push it there. Okay, snap it back together. Nice, nice. Everything went together like it was supposed to. Now let's not get too excited. We still have 4 more screws to put in. We have 2 here. One goes in here. One goes in here. And I'm sorry these aren't the greatest times. These are like my first time ever doing this. We got the 2 that go up here, so don't put your triggers in just yet. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, one more time. Oh my god, this is killing me. These ham fingers. Goddamn ham hands. Oh my god. This is why you should have tweezers when you do this. Alright, there we go. Now we got that one tightened down. Okay, we gotta put this last screw in here. Oop. I'm trying to get it started, but my fingers are too goddamn big for this. Okay. Alright, so now we got these in there. That's all tightened down. Now we can put our correctly installed, this is L1, right? Yep. L1 goes over here. And R1 goes over here. God damn it. Alright, there we go. That clicking is so satisfying to me. I cannot even tell you. Alright. So that's that. That is the controller put together. Let's turn it on. Okay, so this is actually the finished product right here. Remember, I use my controller wired in because that's the only way I can use it on PC. But it actually is awesome. So first and foremost, I'll show you what everybody wants to see. How does the RGB work? Well, to turn it on, which is cool because you can turn it on or off, You hold upright like that and square. And you give it a second, and next thing you know, it should turn on. And that's really cool, right? But what if you don't like yellow? What if you like other colors? You hold up and square. This is so cool. Hold up and square. And now it starts to flash like that, right? You can go left or right to change colors. You got pink, purple, some like turquoise blue. That's actually more of a pink. That's a green. That's a red. Green. Blue, it looks really nice. Yellow is what I was messing with, but I'm going to change it now, actually. Do I have a purple? Yeah, let's do purple. Purple's awesome. So this is how it works overall. And you just hold up and square one more time when you decide the color you want. And now I have that, and that's all set to go. As far as the micro triggers and all the work we did on the buttons, these are phenomenal. This is incredible. The triggers are so short throw compared to a regular PlayStation 5. Here, I'll show you. Like, this is the one that we have modified. It just clicks like that. But whereas if we take this controller, it goes all the way down before it you know, hits, and it doesn't have the same style of clicker in there. This is something I would totally recommend if you're looking to get like the most out of your PS5 controller and you're into this. There are other click styles, and that's cool, but this is the one I wanted. I wanted the one that really felt like, you know, when I was touching it, I could feel it. And this controller is so cool. Sony did really a great job with this controller, and I'm so grateful that they decided to stop behaving like it was 1997 and actually let features of their controller be used on a PC. It's so badass. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Look, to answer your question, since she decided to show up, no, I still cannot beat her in this game. But I will. I'm going to try to on my stream this Thursday. Make sure you check me, speaking of which, every Thursday, 9 p.m., twitch.tv/ILTV4K for the Total Terrorathon Thursday, the scariest night in video game streaming. Don't forget also to catch me Saturday night Spooktacular, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/ILTV4K. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this video helps you guys out. I know it's a little long, but everything you need is here, and everything I feel you should do in one shot is also here. So there's that too, guys. But again, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget, you're watching ILTV, where if it's pop culture, you know it pops up here. You're watching ILTV, where if it's pop culture, you know it pops up here.